Well, today certainly has been an interesting day as far as the legal system and trials. Because if you don't know, Karen Reed's retrial, day 15, was supposed to be today, but it suddenly was canceled by the judge, and we still do not know exactly why. And the much anticipated Sean Combs, PDiddy, Puff Daddy, Puff. Yes, his racketeering trial, his federal trial in New York City is happening. And today, a lot happened. Now, some legal experts are saying that this is still going to be an uphill battle for the prosecution because while they can prove a lot of different things happening to people against their will, they have to prove the racketeering, which means a criminal enterprise. I think it is a slam dunk for taking sex workers across state lines or across country lines with the intent of protection. I know so many words cannot be said here on TikTok. That I think he's going to be for sure found guilty on because that's pretty easily proven. But as far as the racketeering goes, I really don't know which way it's going to go. But today, Cassie started her testimony and she was even crossed. Several of Sean Combs' family members were present in the courtroom today supporting him during the first day of witness testimony, including his mother and children. His daughters, present during the proceedings, left the room during some of the most graphic testimony, which was given by Cassie. Now, I said this a couple years ago, but she is the one person who had not only just cause, but legitimate cause to actually go after him. And not just in a civil way for money, but for the actual emotional, mental, physical distresses, the punitive damages that he not only caused her, but that he did to her career. He certainly knew because he settled 24 hours later. So Cassie, she definitely had just cause to go after him for a civil suit, and he knew he did something wrong because he settled with her just a day later, 24 hours, not even 24 hours later. But right here, their Jane Doe number 3 for this racketeering federal case is MIA, and she's been MIA. So they lost a very key witness. I don't know, but it's kind of giving Harvey Weinstein, 60 plus women come forward, and then it's down to only 2 when it comes to really going into court, really bringing this legally speaking, actually giving testimony under oath. It makes you wonder why some of these people just drop away like flies. What's true, what's not? I do know one thing is that his relationship with Cassie was very aggressive, very violent, and she had every right to pursue for damages for that. And I fully agree and support, side with her. But when it comes to racketeering, does that prove racketeering? Is it enough for a jury to say, yes, this is racketeering, we're going to find him guilty? Because even on one of those charges, he potentially could serve 25 years to life. But looking at today, Philip, a former male dancer who struck up an unlikely friendship with Ventura, took the stand during cross-examination to testify on Cassie's violent relationship with Combs. And she herself did too. This male dancer corroborates a lot of the things and verifies a lot of the things that was in Cassie's testimony today about the things that she had seen, things that she was forced to do, things that she witnessed, and just the overall abuses that she had suffered. They also talk about not intervening because they were so terrified that they might actually lose their life. And then here, it said that he stopped meeting up with Ventura and Combs when he was no longer able to achieve arousal with them after he allegedly witnessed Combs strike Cassie. Though Philip said he told Ventura that Combs was a real danger, the woman said that she was okay. And of course, that had happened not just yesterday and today, but then the jury is shown the video. The video from the hotel where Cassie is trying to leave, and she is barefoot, and she is desperately trying to get on the elevator with her bag. And you see Sean Combs wrapped in nothing but a white hotel towel come after her. And if you haven't seen that video, we all know what happens. And it's horrific, because what kind of place must a woman be at that she's so terrified that she throws on whatever hoodie she can, and she's barefoot, trying to escape this toxic, abusive situation. So that was played for the jury. Of course, and that has to do with the security officer. Now, it was said that despite there not being cameras, that the press is allowed to clearly get the words, the transcripts of what's actually being said in court, because they cannot stop the press or somebody from the press from being inside the courtroom and actually talking about the testimony that's being given. And in that, they are saying that Sean Combs is looking very old, because not only can he not dye his hair, but it's all gray. That he looks completely aged and stressed. And if all of this stuff is true, he has every right to be sitting there contemplating his life. And this is not a matter of just preference or taste. Not when you're doing these kinds of things to other people, to their body, okay? Nobody is entitled to anybody else's body, ever. Ever. No matter what your kink is. No matter what number your bank account reflects. No matter if you lay your head down on a cardboard box or inside of a $50 million mansion every night. So of course, Mark Garagos, who is defending Sean Combs, he is big name when it comes to the legal system. Almost everybody knows who Mark Garagos is. He says for Cassie, she made a choice every single day for years. She would not only chose to stay with Sean Combs until one day when she chose to leave him. They're painting it like she benefited. She benefited from going to these parties, from being with somebody that was powerful and rich, famous, that this was all a choice, and that video was nothing more than her having his phone, and he wanted it back. He wasn't making excuses for his behavior, but putting it in the mind of the jurors. Now, the prosecution is saying that Combs used videos of women in specific acts as a form of collateral to control them, to basically blackmail them. But Garagos said only the freak-off videos involving Ventura that will feature in the trial came from her own phones. The lawyer suggested that was evidence the power dynamics between them ran in the opposite direction. Ask yourself, who had the control? And then he literally is looking aged and with glasses and, a nice outfit and get up. I'm really concerned and scared that he may actually get off again, because he has a long history of getting off. If he is truly guilty of racketeering, of running a criminal enterprise, he should pay the price for that. No amount of wealth, money, fame, celebrity entitles you to do those things to another person's body. Never makes you entitled to another person's body, ever. But they are now painting it as this is just jealous exes who looked back at the last 8-10 years of their life and lost their youth, and their career didn't go where they wanted it to go, and so now they're coming after him for money. However, it's pretty damning for him because other witnesses are saying it. However, it's also still going to be an uphill battle for the prosecution, and the fact that they lost Jane Doe number 3 and she is completely missing, I am mind blown, and I'm very concerned with what direction this whole trial may actually go in, because I've seen it once before in the 90s.